Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight. It's me, Michael Jidandukumwa, and we'll go straight to what we have for you this evening. The Electoral Commission has started demarcating electoral areas for the 2025-26 local government council elections. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, also announced increment of polling stations from over 35,000 in the electoral season of 2020-2021 to 45,000 in the 2025-26 general elections. This was during the National Stakeholders Workshop on the demarcation of electoral areas and recognition of polling stations in Kampala.
Demarcation of electoral areas and reorganization of polling station process defines the area of representation for directly elected councillors, women councillors and councillors representing special interest groups in various local government councils. During the National Stakeholders Workshop on the demarcation of electoral areas, Justice Simon Byabakama noted that the exercise that had been scheduled for August 2023 was delayed due to funds.
Without anything, we are not ruling out. We are only saying that for them to be able to vote, there must be the necessary legal framework in place that allows them to vote from wherever they are. The current legal framework does not provide for that.
Byabakama said the Commission is now set to commence the demarcation of electoral areas for purposes of the 2025-2026 local government council elections as per the roadmap in August 2024. In the same vein, the Commission announced increment in the number of polling stations from over 35,000 in the electoral season of 2020-2021 to 45,000 in the forthcoming general elections of 2025-2026.
Those population quotas, what is the effect they have, that increment? What is the effect they have on the quality of the electoral process? Because we are seeing an increase in number.
Every election cycle, the number of voters goes up, ladies and gentlemen. I think you realize that. So in our projection, the number of voters should be about 22 million, which is about 4 million additional voters. And therefore, the polling stations will have to go up as well, because you cannot maintain the same number of polling stations you had in 2021 when the number of voters have gone up.
The increase in the polling stations was intended at ensuring that each parish and electoral area has at least one polling station sufficient for the area coverage.
Polling stations have to be split. New ones have to be created so that we make sure that every Ugandan of voting age who is a registered voter is catered for. For example, in the urban centers, particularly Kampala, if in 2021 you may find a polling station was located at a certain vacant plot of somebody, but now that plot is developed, it's no longer available. So in consultation with the people of that area, we have to establish where this polling station should be relocated to.
Justice Byabakama further denounced monetization, militarization and chaotic actions during election. The reorganization of polling stations is in line with Section 33, subsection 1 of the Electoral Commission Act.
Because we don't want to disenfranchise any Ugandan who is a registered voter. It is the work of the Commission, work in conjunction with the local people and the local leaders to relocate this polling station.
The demarcation exercise will involve locating polling stations in central places, relocating those affected by infrastructure developments, splitting polling stations with undue voter numbers, and ensuring each parish and electoral area has at least one polling station. Susan Naonga reporting for UBC TV.
Members of the Buganda Parliamentary Caucus have congratulated His Majesty the King of Buganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II, upon reaching 31 years since his coronation on the throne. They welcomed him from Namibia, where he was receiving treatment. They also appreciated the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, for keeping unity among Kabaka's subjects the time the king was away.
Of the Uganda Parliamentary Caucus, we take this opportunity, first of all, as a caucus, to congratulate the Kabaka of Uganda, together with all the people of Uganda, for us to be celebrating 31 years since his coronation. We are also grateful to the Almighty God for having enabled Ssaabasajja Kabaka to be able to return to his motherland, and we also pray that he gets well and gain the strength to be able to lead Uganda to the very expectation of our people. We take this opportunity to also thank in a special way all the leadership of the Uganda community, led by the Katikiro Wekitiibwa Charles Peter Mayiga, for having been able to unite the people of Uganda, to lead the way in the absence of the Kabaka. We pledge and pray that we shall all, as always, be loyal to Namulondo, and we shall endeavor in all ways possible to endear unity of purpose for the people of Uganda.
That was the voice of Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, chairperson of that Buganda Parliamentary Caucus. President Yoweri Museveni has eulogized the late NRM party member, Honorable Alepar Simon Peter, as a true patriot and citizen who immensely served Uganda with distinct and love. This was in an eulogy read for him by Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, during the burial of the late Alepar Simon Peter in Kangole, Napak district.
A plus funeral service arrived at Kangole Boys Playgrounds in Napaka district, carrying the remains of the late Alper Simon Peter. The casket was wrapped in the colors of Uganda flag to symbolize the country which is mourning the gallant son with an official burial. The casket containing the remains of Alper was then handed over to the church.
We are living on this world where we are here, but for a moment.
Present were members of the NRM family, where the late has been serving, ministers, service chiefs, members of parliament, among others. After church service was laying of the wreath and later the speeches.
So emeritus, please run here.
We have lost our dear brother, son, father. He was a pillar. He's the one who has been taking care of us.
The fallen hero of the region is here. But he studied and he grew up in a difficult environment.
Local mourners still doubts the latest police update in regards to the nature of the accident, which claimed they've loved one.
The Inspector General of Police expresses condolences with the people of Karamoja and the family, and have instituted a team to investigate the matter.
When we did tests on the food we found in his stomach and on other body samples to look for any drugs or poisons, there was nothing.
They installed the CCTV cameras along the road on the highways. We need to hear that the vehicle has been found, or the person has been found. There should be an explanation.
For the family has not up to date come to the terms with the big loss that has come with this death.
This is not a day of pointing fingers, blaming this, that. We're gathered here to celebrate the life of the late.
He was not just a father, he was a best friend, a partner in crime, a teacher, a mentor, competition. One thing about our father is he preached discipline. Every moment he got, it was discipline. I am strong because of God. I will not allow the stigma of death bring me down. I will not allow stigma of death break my family.
The farewell messages also came from ministers, NRM Secretary General Richard Odong, second members of parliament.
People of Karamoja, I come with a heavy heart.
It is because of him I stand before you today as a member of parliament and as a minister.
I want to encourage you today, my people. God will heal Karamoja. God will surely heal Karamoja.
Honorable Aspro, being a SEC member, was entitled to a monthly salary. And we have agreed that we shall continue paying this money to the widow until another election is held for a replacement.
Your Excellency, this was a patriot. He was a nationalist and a great Pan-Africanist, and an epitome of humility.
The Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo, represented the President at this burial.
The death of Honorable Aleper Simon Peter has robbed the country of a resourceful leader who made a contribution to fostering unity and development in Karamoja region.
The President, in a message read for him verbally, eulogized the late as a true patriot and nationalist.
The party shall remain indebted to him for the invaluable service which he rendered in the country. He remained true to the principles of the NRM, which emphasize prioritizing the interests of the people of Uganda.
In a very unrare way, the President has contributed shillings 50 million through the NRM party and 10 million through the Vice President towards the family of the late. Later, Alper was laid to rest at his home in Kangole village, Napak district, in an official way. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Napak district.
But may his soul rest in eternal peace. Minister for Animal Husbandry Bright Ramirama has rallied farmers towards technology adoption and digitized agricultural innovations to enhance efficient farm production. The minister was officiating at the opening of the 30th National Agricultural Show in Jinja City.
The prevailing weather conditions and climate change has made technology inevitable in the agricultural industrialization. While officiating at the 30th National Agricultural Show in Jinja, the State Minister for Animal Husbandry, Bright Ramirama, called upon farmers to leverage on emerging technology for efficient productivity.
It's no longer an option. You know, in our national constitution, we boast of fertile soils. It's not an option to have to use fertilizers. There is no option to use irrigation. You have to water the tree in order to enjoy the fruit. These failed weather conditions and climate change is very real. So we must do business as differently. So that's why government came up with the policy of agro-industrialization. And that's how Minister of Agriculture, we are intervening at all levels of production system, up to value addition, up to marketing.
To sustain modern agricultural practices, exhibitors recommend inclusion of young people and empowering of women.
The importance of inclusive development. We must attract and retain young people in agriculture by providing them with the necessary skills and opportunities. Additionally, empowering women farmers is essential for all the overall growth and sustainability of the sector.
The vehicle is parish development model. That is the lowest unit of administration this country has entrusted with this. So we have accordingly created more than 10,000 circles at parish level.
Sasakawa Africa Association introduced a new crop on the menu to enhance commercialization. Wheat growing is expected to bolster household incomes and facilitate subsistence transition to commercial agriculture.
In the Karamoja sub-region, in northern Uganda, but also in the cold environments of the southwestern Uganda. Because importantly, wheat is a low water requiring crop. It actually has low water requirements compared to all the other cereals that we are growing in our country.
Farmers are encouraged to focus on research to identify demanding commodities on the regional and international market for competitiveness.
Apparently, over 90% of the wheat in our country is being imported, and yet there is potential for Ugandans to produce our own wheat. And even the wheat that we have, that we are able to produce, is less than 5% of the wheat requirements that we use. So as Sasaka Africa Association, it is actually our new call that farmers get involved into wheat production.
The 30th National Agricultural Show is running for 10 days in Jinja under the theme Innovating Pathways to Farm Businesses-Led Agro-Industrialization. Marion Awori and Abdul Nasir Lubama for UBC.
The Anticorruption Coalition Uganda and other civil society groups want President Yoweri Museveni to unearth public officials suspected of corruption who remain at large. They were addressing the media at their office headquarters in Tinda.
This is approximately 9.14 trillion annually to corruption. However, the combined recoveries from all the anti-corruption agencies have stagnated below 30 billion annually.
The Corruption Perception Index ranks Uganda as the most corrupt country globally. In 2023, Transparency International ranked Uganda 141 out of 180 countries, highlighting the urgent need for sustained anti-corruption measures.
When you look at the problem of financial crime in Uganda and Africa as a whole, or globally, it's a challenging crime. That alone means that fighting corruption, fighting dirty money, fighting illicit financial flows, and all other predicate offenses is the right and the responsibility for all.
The statistics seem to have prompted the creation of the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, along with the State House Revenue Intelligence and Strategic Operations and the Counter-Scene Audit Unit. The effort led to a crackdown on the corrupt public officials. So the United Civil Society groups commend President Museveni for addressing the deep-rooted corruption plague in Uganda.
We recognize and commend President Museveni's commitment to combating corruption, as evidenced by setting up several anti-corruption agencies, the arrest and prosecution of over 6 members of parliament and technocrats, including the Permanent Secretary and the Minister of Trade, Cooperatives and Industry, signify a strong stance.
However, there is still a call for a comprehensive anti-corruption effort.
There is need for collective effort. Members of civil society, members of parliament, members of the cabinet, members of the judiciary, the churches to join in this fight without interrupting any effort.
The growing discontent among Uganda's youth also has led to protests against corruption in parliament, which authorities deemed illegal, resulting in numerous arrests. The civil society groups condemn the actions of the security agencies for interfering with the constitutional right of those arrested during the protests.
We need the rights of young people who have been protesting against corruption to be respected. Those who have been and continue to be incarcerated need to be released without any condition because they have not committed any crime.
They also cite commercialized politics as one of the key causes of corruption and call for a campaign finance law to curb the influence of dirty money in the political system.
Been convicted of corruption, then you don't have to stand for any elective office for a specified period, because many of those who engage in corruption end up now contesting for elective politics, and then they carry the vice within the area positions of authority they have.
The United Civil Society groups recommend implementing a campaign finance law and strengthening anti-corruption institutions.
Adequate funding, resources and independence for anti-corruption bodies such as police and corruption division and the inspectorate of government, among others, are crucial. These institutions should be empowered to carry out their mandates without political interference.
Justin Nakami, UBC News.
State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Jesse Muyingo, has urged the Joint Admission Board to be transparent while conducting their business in their 35th series of the job selection exercise of the year 2024. He was opening the 4-day Joint Admission Board selection exercise for the academic year 2024-25, hailing at UICT in Nakawa, Kampala.
Various stakeholders have gathered for the 4-day Joint Admission Board selection exercise, JAB, for the academic year 2024-2025. Over 30 tertiary institutions across the country will participate in this exercise.
This year, we have attracted about 32 institutions which are doing the selection exercise. And this exercise comes last after many other admission exercises. It's the last chance for all our children who applied to the various institutions.
Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, urged those conducting the exercise to avoid corruption.
The decisions you will be making during this selection exercise will shape the future of our nation of Uganda. This is more than an obligation, but a responsibility that demands utmost care, that demands fairness, that demands transparency.
However, concerns were raised by principals of various tertiary institutions on advancements of bachelor programs to their institutions to benefit learners.
Some of the things we are trying to recommend in the Act. There's also TVET policy which will also be presented to the floor of Parliament. And in this, we are trying to see and create an environment that will enable every Ugandan who has the ability to upgrade, to have the facilities to do so. Whether one is holding a diploma, should be assisted to get to a higher level.
Although government extended a loan scheme to learners for higher education, the demand for it requires more funding.
That the budget we have can only accommodate 1,500. The demand is very high, but the supply is still small. When you go to the website, every minute applications are coming in.
Government offers comes from the treasury, where we don't have enough resources. But we are only able to take on 1,500 because those are the resources we have right now.
Professor Eli Katunguka is the chairperson board JAB, represented by Professor Edrisa Mugampoza, says that such exercises are vital to ensure that the country is equipped with well-versed job makers.
The ability of graduates in the tertiary subsector depends on the value attached in the training processes. For instance, adequate training and supervision of trainees, continuous assessment, industrial attachment, project and product development, practical and summative assessment sessions are some of the critical areas that lead to a holistic training approach.
Rebecca Nantongo, Mike Bakabulindi, UBC News.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, ECOP. ECOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
Though dry-Dutch Harriets and everyone would admire their glowing skin, fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior. Baby Junior.
MTN! UBC News. Tonight we thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. 7 Chinese investors who were arrested from Lua Wetland have pleaded guilty to the offenses of disturbing and drilling Lua Wetland. The accused were convicted on their plea of guilty by Machinda Utilities and Wildlife Magistrates Court, presided over by Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu.
When the accused appeared before Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu Head Utilities and Wildlife Court, prosecution first amended the charge sheet by adding 1 count of conspiracy to drill Lua Wetland. When court read the charges against the accused, all the 7 pleaded guilty to the alleged offences.
Now, the expert that they are talking about who wrote this report visited the place. He took these photos. There are many photos here on the report. I have also seen your faces in the report. For you, we are charged with those 2 offenses. Is that what happened? Okay, so I've written that you are beneath the charge, right?
The 7 Chinese investors were arrested by National Management Environmental Authority NEMA together with the Environment Police, and during the last court sitting they denied all the offences, alleging that they were just tourists visiting Uganda. After accepting the offences, prosecution led by Judith Nyunamweza asked court to give the convicts a deterrent sentence following their actions towards Lua Wetland.
And the side effects are being felt by each individual who is part of this investment. Wetland degradation, disrupts the balance of the wetland ecosystem. Lua wetlands are water catchment area where filtration takes place. You know, you will note that there is occurrence of floods, and even especially on that road, Massacre Road, where the bridge had to break down because of the overflow.
The convicts' legal team led by Grace Biaruhanga asked court to give the convicts a lenient sentence.
Who has told court that she has no known previous criminal record in the accused party. Your Worship, the convicts have not wasted much time, as well as the resources of the state, in running the process of prosecution, production of witnesses, and the entire rigorous process of processing the required evidence. Tailored to that, Your Worship, the convicts, this is seen from their opening statements as they were pleading guilty.
Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyo said 31st July 2024 to rule in this case. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Kampala traders under their umbrella body, Kampala City Traders Association, Kasita, have announced a national business sit-down strike effective tomorrow, Wednesday, until when President Yoweri Museveni will meet them in a more dignified way. Kasita spokesperson Issa Sechito's remarks come after President Museveni yet again called off a planned July 31st meeting with the traders at the ceremonial grounds in Kololo, who are protesting against IFRI's and high taxes by the Uganda Revenue Authority. The traders are also unhappy with Kampala Minister Minsa Kabanda's remarks.
People who have survived in trade are millions, and therefore we can't look and just watch while this is happening. We don't want to create a vacuum as leaders. Traders are determined to close by the 31st if the president does not come out to talk to them using any valid media. All these things we have highlighted to the president. He's slow on taking a decision, and they will have no problem with that. Leaders who started the struggle can watch while the traders are leading themselves into uncontrollable heights.
Tomorrow, 31st, all traders have agreed to close their shops just because of one thing. Our president has postponed our meetings.
Encha tugenda kuggalawo olw'ensonga nti mukama waffe His Excellency President wa Uganda ekyamazima tetuli bamativu n'engeri gy'atambuzaamu ensonga zaffe. Kubanga ensonga zaffe nyangu nnyo si nnyingi. Ensonga zaffe omusolo gwa IFRIS. Omusolo gwa IFRIS tugumanyi naye tegusoboka mu ngeri gye tutambuzaamu emirimu gyaffe.
Nsaba gavumenti kuwuliza ensonga zaffe, obusobozi bwaffe busobole okubeerawo. Gaffe twalakaayana, tebatukayana naye embeera y'obusuubuzi ekoze eki ereese obuzibu.
Kampala City traders there articulating their issues as to why they will not open shops tomorrow. We await to update you. Minister for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Tom Butime, has commended officials of the Uganda Wildlife Authority on the efforts achieved in protecting the wildlife in various game parks. Butime was speaking during the launch of 6 drones by Uganda Wildlife Authority from the United Nations Development Project Country Director.
The Minister for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities has emphasized the need to build capacity with the use of new technology to protect and conserve the environment.
And there are very many remote areas which need to be covered. And this is what has been lacking in the Uganda Wildlife Authority. So really it's a great development technically for UWA. I hope that this will go a long way to assist in UWA's responsibility of managing the national parks and keeping close watch, isn't it? of our resources.
The country director, United Nations Development Programme, has commended UA against the fight on encroachments and emphasized the importance of tourism in the economy of the country.
We see it beyond that. We see it also as creating avenues and opportunities for the country to have more people coming here, to have more people use the facilities, the natural endowment of Uganda, which is enormous, and then the facilities that are in place, and therefore driving revenue, and therefore driving how government uses that revenue to translate into people's lives. So,
with poaching and human encroachment in wildlife conservation increasing, UA has expounded on the capacity to fight the vice.
Yes, we have the capacity, we have staff who are already trained, and as I've just mentioned, we have even managed elsewhere to get arrests made and convictions in court using the drones. So yes, we have the capacity.
The 6 drones donated to UA by UNDP will play a significant role in the wildlife conservation, boosting Uganda's economy in tourism. Komagum Rogers for UBC News.
The Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe, has shared the plan for the 31st coronation celebrations of the Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II. According to him, they have already planned on security and seating arrangement and how the whole event is going to be held at Namirembe.
Buganda Kingdom and well-wishers can't wait any longer to witness the 31st coronation of Kabaka Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, scheduled for tomorrow. The Dean of Namirembe Diocese, Reverend Canon Jonathan Chisauzi Salongo, revealed to the press the day's tentative program.
We want to give thanks to the mighty God and majorly to Saba Sajja, who so wished that the celebrations be held at St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe. Expect that all visitors should by 8 a.m. have started to walk in through the security points, checkpoints. Then special invited guests are expected at 9, and at 9:40 the VVIPs will also start to arrive. Then and at 9:50 we expect the procession to begin, and there is when we expect the chief guest, the arrival of the chief guest, and then we shall receive the general salute, and the service will commence. Thereafter, we shall have the recession hymn, and then we shall have the group photographs at the main entrance. And because the Kabaka will always serve his people with luncheon, so we expect him to open up the luncheon with cutting of the cake.
Due to Buganda Kabaka's popularity among his subordinates, over thousands of people are expected to attend the celebrations.
We expect to have at the cathedral grounds in between 4,000 to 5,000 people, and then the 1,500 will be accommodated within the cathedral.
With only a limited number of 5,000 occupants to convene inside the cathedral for the special service, the rest will be outside and catch the event on screens.
I've made arrangements to have a special good public address system with screens, so that for those who will be outside the cathedral could be very much in a picture of what is happening inside.
Security led by the OC station Old Kampala Nicholas Kamusime assured to protect the attendees.
Making sure buli omu ajja wano okusinza n'okukwata n'okusaba ne Ssaabasajja Kabaka.
Even though Nagalabi Coronation site situated at Nagalabi Hill in Busiro County remains a link between Buganda and its past, as it was the same place Kabaka Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II was crowned in 1993, just like his father. The 31st coronation celebrations will be held at St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe.
When we talk about the present king, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, his grandparents had a very big contribution in the establishment of even the cathedral that we are talking about, even where we are located. And I think we have a foundation stone that is even on the cathedral. The king himself has a seat within the cathedral, and he's our patron.
Namirembe Cathedral remains significant to Kabaka Mutebi.
He has his seat. This is the church in which the king has a seat. And when we have been given this opportunity to organize this 31st coronation anniversary, we think it's a great honor. And we are doing everything possible to make this celebration a colorful one.
According to the Diocesan Secretary of Namirembe Diocese, Reverend Canon Henry Segawa, the celebrations are a thanksgiving for the gift of health and life of His Highness Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, the Kabaka of Buganda.
It is special because the king has been out of the country for some time on treatment, but it gives us great pleasure to have him during the celebration of his 31st coronation anniversary.
Nagalabi is a place where all the Kabakas of Buganda Kingdom have been crowned for the past 800 years. Historically, Buganda rituals are held on Budo Hill where the first Kabaka was crowned. Kabaka Kintu first declared himself the king of Buganda in the 13th century after killing his own brother Bemba. General cleanliness outside the cathedral was at its peak and tents were being mounted. Ivan Juko for UBC.
Promise to keep you updated about the celebrations tomorrow. Still in the same line, the Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, was enthroned in 1993, and every 31st of July, Buganda Kingdom celebrates and commemorates the coronation. It is few hours to the same day, 31st of July, and UBC has gathered previous speeches of the Kabaka Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II on the different coronation celebrations as they have gone by.
As Buganda celebrates Kabaka Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, 31 years on the throne, UBC has gathered Kabaka's keynote messages on his previous coronations. On 31st July 2021, in Budo Masaka, when the country was still battling with COVID-19, Kabaka appreciated the public for adhering to government and doctors' guidelines in preventing the spread of the pandemic.
Tusaasira nnyo bannaffe abafiiriddwa abantu baabwe olw'obulwadde bwa COVID. Twebaza nnyo bannayuganda olw'okugondera endagiriro y'abakugu ku kwewala okukwatibwa COVID. Era tubasaba obutaddirira.
The Kabaka also advised government to allocate more funds to science universities to enable researchers and scientists discover medicine to cure COVID-19.
Tusaba gavumenti okwongera ku mutemwa gw'ensimbi okuyamba bannassaayansi kibasobozese okunoonyereza n'okuvumbula eddagala erinaalwanyisa obulwadde buno.
The Kabaka sounded a warning to self-seekers who attack the kingdom that will not be tolerated.
Tuvumirira nnyo bannaffe abo abateekawo embeera mu bugenderevu okutujja ku mulamwa ogw'okujjukiza abakulembeze b'eggwanga ku nsonga y'ebyaffe. Emyaka giweza 28 nga tuli ku nsonga zino, era nga tumanyi nti zijja kuggwa mu bukakkamu n'omukwano.
On his 29th coronation at Mengo Palace on the 31st July 2022, His Majesty appreciated all stakeholders in the fight against ending HIV/AIDS.
Tusiima nnyo ebitongole nga ekya UNAIDS n'ekya Uganda AIDS Commission abaatwegattako
mu lutalo olw'okulwanyisa Mukenenya.
Kabaka advised his subjects to always listen to the voice of Katikkiro on growing coffee to change their livelihoods.
Twebaza abantu baffe olw'okujjumbira eddoboozi lya Katikkiro ku nsonga ey'okulima emmwanyi. Nga kati waliwo obubonero obulaga nti Obuganda bujjumbidde ensonga eno n'amakungula geeyongedde.
On his 30th coronation anniversary in 2023 at Mengo Palace, Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II reminded government to fulfill the pledge of bringing a byaffe and grant federal system.
Wankubadde ng'Obwakabaka bwaddawo naye tewafuna buyinza okukola emirimu nga bwe bwakolanga edda okuviira ddala ku ntandikwa yaabwo. Mu federal buli kitundu kyekulaakulanya, awo nno Uganda neekulaakulana.
The Kabaka warned the youth against selfish individuals who promise them jobs abroad and they end up as slaves.
Temubuzaabuzibwa kutwalibwa kukola mirimu egitategeerekeka, okutwalibwa mu mirimu mu nsi ez'ebunaayira abantu baffe gye bayisibwanga abaddu era n'abamu ne bafiirayo. Abo ababatwala okukola ebweru tebalina kirungi kyonna kibabaagaliza. Emitima gyabwe si mirungi naye bo bagifunamu nnyo.
The Kabaka also directed people of Buganda to unite for the good of the kingdom.
Tukubiriza abantu baffe beeyongere okubeera obumu n'okulowooza ku Buganda ey'enkya. Abo abasoma Bayibuli mujja kumanya nti mu kitabo kya Luka atugamba nti Yesu yennyini bwe yasooka okuyigiriza yali yakamala emyaka 3. Kyekitegeeza nti omulimu ogwaffe gwakatandika butandisi.
Story compiled by Andrew Sebira for UBC News.
Nice one, Andrew Sebira and Tim. We wish Buganda Kingdom the best of the celebrations. Let's take a short break. Please keep it with us.
MTN! Tusako Hajaruna Mbiru live in concert Friday nga mwenda August. Hajaruna Mbiru huyo! Kusenda Hotel Rockta nunga mwenda August. Monshoja atumie Hajaruna Mbiru live in concert. VIP ya mtualo 15. Tukawa jigula kumomo ya mtualo 10. Hate meze ya milioni 3. Nyiga kamunyenye. Emo mkaga 5 kamunyenye 20 kadara. Oba downloading ya momo app. Wagule ticket kusente ntono. Nga 10 August. Kolini hotel mukono. Ticket ya shinzo mtualo kumu. Poa jigulango kosa momo. Jigulango 15. VIP mtualo 3. Nga 10 August. Maria Frema Saka. Shinze mtualo 2. Poa jigulango kosa momo ya mtualo kumu. VIP mtualo 5. Hate momo. Mtualo 3 nechitundu. Bitege kedwa keti events. Waurone biwagirwa.
MTN. Together, we're unstoppable.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
For watching, and now let's talk business. Uganda Broadcasting Corporation is hosting a mini expo to highlight energy-efficient cooking methods as part of the country's energy transition agenda. At the UBC Gardens, attendees can explore a range of eco-friendly cooking solutions, including gas cookers, pressure cookers, and stoves that utilize briquettes. The expo is open to the public and runs for 5 days from Monday to Friday.
Wood stoves can help save up to 65% of wood fuel compared to a 3-stone fire. The manufacturers believe that this will help reduce on the number of trees cut down for charcoal and will help prevent people from filling their homes with harmful fumes. Over the years, Uganda has seen a significant loss in forest cover due to non-eco-friendly cooking methods. The demand for charcoal and firewood has been linked to unpredictable weather patterns across the country.
In Uganda right now, there's a very big problem of deforestation. People are cutting down trees to burn, to get charcoal, which people are using literally for cooking in different households.
This expo at the national broadcaster aims to showcase eco-friendly energy solutions. Experts are speaking positively about the new cooking methods and encouraging the public to adopt these solutions for better personal benefit and environmental conservation.
Our briquettes have zero smoke. If you can see on that kettle, it is
a little expensive for most of the Ugandans to afford. Yeah, they're a little expensive, but we are trying to work on with the Ministry of Energy. We are trying to engage very many different stakeholders and getting, of course, partners who can support us so that the prices can be subsidized to be affordable by most of the Ugandan people.
The use of improved cook stoves brings numerous benefits, including better health, increased productivity, gender equality, forest and biodiversity conservation, and reduced emissions. Charity Marian Imnat and Joseph Muyengo, UBC News.
Lack of collateral security for women in business has been cited as a great challenge for them in loan acquisition. This was during the Women Business Expo in Kampala.
Whereas men may find it easier to acquire loans, it's not the case for women who rarely own property that can be used as collateral. This has limited most women from growing their businesses.
In terms of security, you realize that bigger business or bigger loans will require a security or collateral, of which our women do not have, and therefore.
Now me, I tried to base on a social enterprise because I realized that if I go into loan now, it would require me to work extra hard even beyond what I couldn't even afford. So I realized that if I use the local materials around me, it would...
Now I look around in my community, there is the vulnerable people, the old one, the like judges, they can make mats, and this one they can make. So I include them, and even the out school dropouts, the young ones. I also they are the meandering around there. They include them, and we make some the girls and boys.
If the government could at least make sure the way they've done publicity on PDM, at least so that everyone out there knows the government is really supporting, because it's okay. It's one thing to know the government is supporting people, and it's another to
Although women may have fewer chances of acquiring loans, they have been applauded for being able to repay the loans they get on time because they calculate their risks, unlike men who take risks and take long to pay or fail to pay.
Comparing women to men, women are paying back their business very well, their funds very well, and they're able to come and get additional funding. And therefore,
value addition in the production lines is vital to enable Ugandan women-owned businesses to penetrate to the outside market.
Interesting there is that about 86% of these businesses are informal. So there's a lot of work that we can do there to see that the women actually move from one level to another.
Women have been urged to practice financial literacy to manage their businesses well, with the expo theme on financial coaching for intentional business growth. Marion Awori and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Uganda's medal winners from the Tokyo 2020 Olympics have arrived in France to defend their crowns. Swimmer Gloria Muzito swam brilliantly to set a new 100-meter freestyle national record.
Won 4 medals at the previous Olympics, and these were by Joshua Cheptegei, Peruth Chemtai, and Jacob Kiplimo.
Cheptegei, the world champion. Can he win it again? Last year, he was burnt up by Solomon Barega. But the champion from Doha is the champion once again.
The trio has arrived in France for the Paris 2024 Olympics and will start their action on Friday with Cheptegei and Kiplimo joined by Magengo Kiprotich in the 10,000-meter final. Also in action on Friday will be the 5,000-meter ladies in round 1, and Halima Nakai, who arrives later today, will do her 800 meters round 1.
The big boys have arrived. The big girl is here.
The 3 have arrived. That's just Joshua Cheptegei, Jacob, and we're having Peruth. These were medalists during the last Olympic Games, and they're coming to defend their titles. And we're glad they're here. The team is taking shape. We had the 3 athletes that jetted in yesterday. Today, this morning, we have the 3. And in the afternoon, we're expecting 4 more. We're expecting Winnie, we're expecting Halima, we're expecting Dadriga, and we're expecting Orogot. So they've been in Europe. They'll be joining this team this evening.
In swimming, Uganda's 100-meter freestyle guru, Gloria Muzito, has swum her best ever and completed in a new national record of 58.95 seconds at the Paris La Défense Aquatic Center. The 21-year-old held the previous 56.01 national record that she set, winning the bronze medal at the African Games earlier this year in Ghana. Cyclist Charles Kajimu has also continued his preparations ahead of his 255-kilometer road race this Saturday.
Team Uganda, all the best. We can't wait for the medals. After several months of action, the Guinness-sponsored King's College Budo League Season 7 has climaxed.
Uganda's most enticing and captivating leisure sports competition, the King's College Budo League, has climaxed at Legends Rugby Club. This league, that is sponsored by Uganda Breweries Limited through its Guinness brand, is played between all students in their respective classes. The final, played before a mammoth crowd, ended 1-0 in favor of Masape class of 2004, which beat the class of 2003 a term later. The grand finale wasn't only about football, but was punctuated by musical performances, highlighted by a thriller from Fik Fameka.
We set out with very clear objectives this season. Can we get our membership up? Can we introduce new technology, new ideas? So this season we launched the Budo League application on Android and iOS. This season we launched the Fantasy Budo League thing. This season we had corporate social responsibility for both the league and the teams. This season we've had involvement. We have closer collaboration with the school. Most importantly, people have remained fit. We have played quality football.
The reason why we're here is because we want to spread awareness. We want people to register, to turn up, and turn on their lights in Kasese on the 24th of August. So we better see you there. Feel free to go on the Tascarenzo marathon.com and register and join the league.
The 8th season is expected to start in November this year.
Brings us to the end of all we had for you at this particular moment. We'll be here back at 10 p.m. with another arrangement. Please do not miss. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Catch you then.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.